Hi, hello everyone. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by today. I hope you are all doing well. I really appreciate you all for taking time to watch this video. Today, I'm sharing a sea ocean themed journal lap book that I have created using some of the many digital creators kits who inspire me with their the creativity they share here on YouTube and on Instagram. There's so many of them, but these are just a fraction of them that I try to put together in this project. Um, it's similar to a C-theme project I created last year for Ruby and Pearl DT project, where I am a member of. But I recreated some of the features in a different way in this project. And if you follow me on Instagram, I've created C-theme journals kind of like every year since I got started on junk journaling. And this might be a theme of a journal that might create, I would like to create every year um, for many reasons. So let's get ahead with the flip through. And right now I am showing and opening the closure, which is made of a cotton or linen ribbon that I have attached on each end, shells on each side with accented with hand stitch seed beads in the seafoam green, blue, teal color palette. So this one is a scallop seashell where I had put inside a big pearl bead in the color palette of the project. So it's a lap book, and along with it I created a writing board, which I am showing right now, the boy image that I got from Ruby and Pearl's one of her sea themed kits. I have decorated it with this mesh that sort of like mimics the fishnet and some trinkets that we'll find by the seaside. This image is from Sharon Hort here on YouTube, and Journalosity is her shop on Etsy. And I have attached a pen holder. So it may seem chunky, bulky because of the trinkets on the side, but it fits into the journals inside so that it would give a flat support. It can also be tucked between the two sections of the lap book and bound with the closure when the journal's not in use. Um, I'm showing in here another copy of this image in the front cover, which is a Raindrop Lila kit. And I use a few of her, she has a bunch of nautical sea-themed kits that I have used throughout the journal. So the book cover I had created from the thick cardboard, from paper pads, scraps of course, and I had made a canvas out of it covered with like fabric that I had primed to be a painting surface, and I painted it with acrylics. And instead of attaching the or gluing the images on top of the book cover, I put them as journaling cards that can be moved around, used inside the journal or in other projects. I made pockets on top of the cover to stash this elements like this fishing pole, and the beautiful sea-themed images. So this is my painting kind of mixed media. I put those pockets with sand that I incorporated in actual sand, and the little sea trinkets, sea glasses, and small seashells with matte gel medium. This spine image is from Ruby and Pearl, and this back is from a postcard from one of Sharon Hort's postcard, I think Italian kits, Italian postcards. I'll try to mention here in the flip through, but if I forget something or some of the creators and kits, I'll make sure to include that in the description box. Such a beautiful image from Raindrop Lila that I attached with into a vintage French book page that has the amazing patina. The seascape painting, I had my own reference for when I painted this from photos that I took, but Raindrop Lila, one of her layout kits, has this very similar image, so that's how I got those birds flying over or up in the air, inspired me to recreate that. I would love to draw in my paintings, but I'm not good at it. But I did paint that little, or doodle that little seagull. On the main spine of the lap book, I made this trinket box that has loose sand and seashells and other sea treasures, little sea treasure ephemeras like shells, sea glasses, pearl buttons, and the like. And it tucks in there, but it could be a standalone. This is kind of like, I was thinking of it like a big coffee table book. There are two journals in this lap book. One single signature, this one, and the other one will be a two signature journal. So in this inside cover, I use a chinoiserie kit from Maria of Jador Le Papier. I picked that because of the color palette, and it had that crack when I folded the lap book, and I just left it because I feel like it gives the old age effect. And this tuck band where I tuck the journal is an embossed scrap of the expanding folder, and I've been having fun embossing paper that still has the wet glue. It gives a different shade of the color, whether it's gray, brown. It's not so visible here, but it's fun. This is like, I think this is the favorite image from the Raindrop Lila kit that I repeated throughout the journal. One signature journal, I made it into a waterfall journal that I have glued in each page watercolored vellum and made it in a wave. I forgot to tilt the books sideways or landscape wise so that it shows like how the waves of the ocean are. I painted seafoam effect on the waves with white and silver ink, and I can't resist using the German glitter glass. I know it tarnishes over time, but I'll just add a bottle of the glass in case someone's interested in this and they could touch it up later as it tarnish. It's glittery still even if it tarnishes. Full of gel G2 pens, which I find writes on most paper surfaces, including that watercolored vellum. By the way, that watercolor vellum um, paper was inspired by Jibidniri. She was my first introduction to junk journaling, and I got into the rabbit hole because of her. Flipping through folded papers to create the waterfall effect. Some vintage letters and letter envelopes are incorporated here in the journals, ledgers, stamps. These are raindrop lila and sample design images. And that one on the flip, kind of like the flip cover, is sample design images. She has a Treasures kit that includes those quotes, which I use throughout the journal. I glued some of those. I printed those quotes in a tracing paper, and I glued some of them on the pages. The others I glued on the watercolored vellum, and glued or tucked them in different places in the journal. More French letters, vintage letters that are in the color palette of the sea. There's a lot of tucks, pockets, and flip out, but there's a lot of writing spaces and spots to glue in your own personal ephemeras. So this beautiful shell images are from sample designs, and like I said, the quotes. Here's another quote from Sample, and I'm showing in there how I glued the vellum. I kind of liked it. It kind of like shows the watermark of mimics the watermark with the glue. So I put a little closure with a blue ribbon that's kind of like brittle because it's really old, but I'll add in some extra ones. Raindrop Lila, and these are embossed folders in their actual color. I did not cover because they are in the color palette of the project. It's mostly sea color palette sky, but there are hints of purples, pinks. Well, the sky sometimes are has that color. Okay, moving on to see how it has those watermark, kind of like mimics the water. And on this side of the lap book, I had used seashell printed or fabric, and I didn't add any more pockets because I want to showcase, like on the other side was the chinoiserie, which was so pretty, and on this one is the fabric. This like this embossing folder has more of like the different tones of the paper. A beautiful image from Ruby and Pearl. I added that beautiful green, blue script. And this particular print was from Dave of Junk Journal Davao. When I saw this, I got this image like maybe over a year ago. And I love how surreal the butterfly is mixed in with the sea elements. Beautiful image from Biarritz of Jador. And have a couple more of those fishing rod that I fussy cut raindrop lilas little fishes for the fish, kind of like charm. Cigarette card with a seascape image, a scrap journaling card that I had attached to a ledger. This beautiful angel swan was from Ruby and Pearl. And I think that Ex Libris image was from Tailor-Made Journals. The background was from Ruby and Pearl, one of our sea kits. And this prayer card is from the Biarritz kit of Jador. And it's a prayer for sailors. In I Google Translate scanned it in French. The seashell image is a big tag from Samples Sea Treasure Kits. And I tucked a couple of her quotes on tracing paper that makes it see-through, still visible, but it can be used anywhere else in the journal. Okay, another tuck that I tucked in scraps, and I think a vocabulary card. A beautiful teal angel image, the only one I have stamped, that I framed with a scrap of French document. A beautiful postcard, Italian postcard. So what I tried to do is put in elements with water that I got from the different digital creators. Some scrap elements there. Another green envelope that I tucked a few little French paper, old papers. A ruby and pearl print, and I added this French part of it, French tablecloth. I'm not sure if it's crochet, but I like that it's not floral. I seldom find that. Usually I find floral crochets. A vintage or antique ledgers. A beautiful whimsical image from Samples Kit. And this blue one is from Junk Journal Davao, and the back one is another kind of like whimsical. So it's nautical, but a little bit of whimsical element in this journal, because a couple of the kits from two creators are mermaid themed. Beautiful magazine page with a house with a lighthouse tower by the sea, and a vintage photo of I think Lucerne. There's a beautiful mermaid's image from Tailor-Made Journal, and a little touch of whimsy there because a couple of the kits I use in this are mermaid theme. A prescription paper from rose hill paper. And this is another image from Junk Journal Davao from his Sirena kit. More sample designs, Raindrop Lila and Ruby and Pearl images in this, and a Rose Hill Paper Cottage handmade paper. This rustic image print is from Roxy Creations, and I think I got it from the Italian images or Italian elements, I think. I'll link it in the description. This beautiful sketch of the ship by the sea is so beautiful. More sample designs, prints, and scrap from the writing board. There's beautiful sea images from the Biarritz kit of Jador Le Papier. Some scripts. More images from Ruby and Pearl and Raindrop Lila. Collage with some vintage documents. And this airmail envelope to the right side was from Junk Journal Davao. I like the contrast of the airmail and the nautical theme, but the stamps and the images has ship on them. A little top there. And I got that beautiful blue handmade paper from Rose Hill Paper Cottage with the specks of gold flakes. I love that swan image from Ruby and Pearl. And that French book page with the dotted patina. A vintage, an actual vintage postcard. As a cardboard packaging with a blue backing or the brown backing. Some little French document ephemeras. Part of the Roxy Creations image. I tucked in there a little blue of my own handmade paper with that vocabulary card. This is from Maria's kit, the image. And I think the back, the water is what I was saying. I said earlier in the flip through of Raindrop Lila's like a raging water print. This image is part of the little Cupid by the seashore image from Ruby and Pearl, and I collaged like 3 different packaging papers in different colors or tones. More vintage, I think this is a Belgian ledger with stamps on it. And there's a beautiful image from Roxy Creations, the other half of it. Probably, I think it's a Venice scene. I put in a little kind of like mesh that mimics the fishnet. more French letter, and this is an authentic postcard, I think French postcard of a lake. And a postcard from one of the digital kits. More mixing and matching images from the prints of the different digital creators here. The flip through's coming to an end, and I really want to thank you for spending some time with me today, and I really appreciate you, all of you. If you like the video, of course, please hit the like button, and I'd love to hear from you in the comment, any questions, comments, suggestions. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel and help me grow my channel. And you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.